also need to get everyone in their proper window. There we go. The channel is live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Adventure on so many levels. We're playing Blades 68.
Yeah,
Get your
baby.
blades out.
baby.
I am Christiana Ellis, and I am the Game Master, also known as the Keeper, I think. No, that's not. That's a different game. Never mind. I'm just the Game Master in this one. I always forget the title. I want to say it right, and then I blunder like this. But that's me. Also with me playing tonight in this game of Blades 68, we have Mark Kilfoyle as Vesper Varden, a.k.a. Silhouette.
How does your sky color?
Paul Fisher as Falwell Stoke, a.k.a. Crash.
Good evening.
And Jenny Meltzer as Pyretta Blaze, a.k.a. Red.
I think that if everyone wants to live, they need to follow me.
So, when last we left our scoundrels, they had just gotten started on their latest job, wherein they have gotten big enough for their britches. Too big, maybe. We'll have to see. But they had decided to try to steal a job from their current ward boss, the Dirt Barons, by intercepting the recipient of the job and with the plan of doing it themselves to undercut the Dirt Barons and gain some new turf for their crew. You know, seems daring and exciting. Will, how is it going to go? Well, they contacted one Morris Harland, who is someone who had been providing intel to the Dirt Barons and had been feeling unappreciated. So you had decided to try to recruit him to get him to give you the job instead of them, only for, at the last second, to discover that, A, he saw someone that he recognized and got scared and was about to run, but when you tried to persuade him to stay, someone tried to shoot him. A sniper tried to shoot him from a nearby building. Now, acting quickly, Silhouette was able to fire off a shot of his own that disrupted the sniper's shot just enough to miss poor Morris, but might not miss the second shot, so remains to be seen what the party will need to do now. And you also haven't even gotten the job yet. So that's where we left things on that exciting cliffhanger. But one of the things that we didn't do at the end of the last session was the end of session moves, where we determine how much XP you all get. And so we're going to do that real quick right now. So just as a reminder, you can get XP from doing desperate rolls. Only Falwell did a desperate roll last time. I checked already. But then also you each have your own tricks for what gets you XP. So actually, so like only Falwell did a desperate roll, but I didn't double check if anyone did a 0 dot. I still don't think so. Nope.
I thought somebody did a consort roll and didn't have any consort.
I'm looking at the rolls right now. That is one of the advantages of the little dice log in the Roll20. So you may be thinking of a previous session. In any case,
that may be what I'm thinking.
Falwell, you get 1 XP for having done a desperate action. Also, any of you, do you feel like you hit a key, one of your keys? And a reminder also that even though I'm asking now, ideally when you do that, you should do it in the moment and not have to remember it after the fact. But we can still do it after the fact.
I did, but I did it when it happened.
Okay, so you got the XP for it already.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Anyone else doing that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Don't think so.
All right. No one was struggling with issues stemming from a deadlock yet, because none of you have one yet. Falwell, do you think that you addressed a challenge with technical skill or cleverness? And if you can't remember whether you did or not, I think that doesn't count.
Okay, then it doesn't count because I can't remember.
And then, so that everyone has their own one. So that was Falwell's. Silhouette, did you address a challenge with stealth or deception? I mean, we hadn't really done a whole lot yet. You mostly, last time, we spent a lot of time with you doing additional downtime and gathering intel.
Yeah, I don't think I got anything.
Okay. And then Pyretta, of course, did you address a challenge with knowledge or paranormal power? It seems
I did not.
Yeah. But you also have crew XP. And the crew XP asks, did you do a successful surveillance, heist, or subterfuge or cleanup operation? No, not yet. Contend with challenges above your current station? I will say yes, because specifically you are trying to undercut the territory of your ward boss, who is a higher tier than you. So I would say that's sort of directly addressing that question. And then I think for that matter, there's also expressed the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew, and your decision to go after the Dirt Barons in this way, I think would qualify that, but I don't think it counts as both, right? Like it's one or the other. However, 1 XP is enough for you to reach a new crew advancement. So I would say go ahead and clear the crew XP track. And let's talk about whether you want there to be, what you want your new crew advancement to be. So there are special abilities to choose from. And then I think actually, let me just double check if it's just the crew upgrades. I think that's what you get for that. Yeah, so when you do a crew advancement, you're picking a new special ability. So any thoughts on those? You've got, this is the synchronized watches, thieves with a code, sleepy time, don't forget the duffel bag.
I
Echo
like
safe
the
house.
idea of sleepy time because we keep coming up on enemies who are shooting us.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it would be amazing if we could tranquilize one of them and figure out who it is that's been shooting at us and maybe take them in for questioning. That's my thought.
Certainly also a lot less heat when nobody dies. But yeah, so sleepy time would be everyone on the crew adds tranquilizer rounds, 0 load, compatible with any firearm to their playbook items. That's one suggestion.
I like that one
Okay.
Yeah.
a lot.
Great.
As the person who shoots a lot of people, I like that.
Yeah. The other one I was going to suggest as a possibility was synchronized watches. You may use assists or setup actions with any crew member regardless of the distance separating you. And when you perform a group action, you may count multiple 6s from different roles as a critical success. But perhaps you can save that one for a later advancement if you want. Sleepy time first. So, okay. I think we can go ahead and you have access to that now, meaning, I'm not going to make you, wait to have access to that if you don't want to. But so now that we have resolved that part, let us return to the current job. What? Yes?
It says 0 load. Does that mean that we don't need to have a firearm as part of our load, or
You do? Well, okay, so you can carry the rounds around with you without a gun, and good luck shooting them.
Right, got it. Okay.
But the point is, you do not need to spend extra load to have the tranquilizer rounds in addition to whatever your normal ammunition would be.
That's what I wanted to clear up.
Yes, you don't get free gun. It's
Okay.
only a kind of bullets that you have for no extra cost.
Got it.
And they're
Okay.
tranquilizer rounds.
Yes.
I think that tranquilizer rounds are, um, it's just kind of we would still reflect, trying to end up with clocks, right? To deal with however you deal with the situation, though. So it's not just kind of like you one hit automatically and they go down, right? It's going to still be like any other thing. You have to complete the clock in order to defeat an enemy or overcome an obstacle. But now you have that option. If you want to use guns, you could maybe tranquilize. So in the meantime, I'm going to also just say there's Morris Harland's clock that was almost filled. Saving him from getting shot by a sniper fills the clock. So that was a consequence, a severe consequence that was resisted by Silhouette at the last second. So I'm going to go ahead and close this clock. But now we have a new clock. And this new clock is a 6-step clock for the sniper that tried to shoot at you. I'll also remind you that just before the sniper fired, there was also a someone else that Morris saw and was concerned about. That is 5 steps, not 6. So there's some. I don't know that any of the rest of you saw who it was that he was reacting to.
I saw him react, but I don't think I looked at the person.
Yeah, so I would say right now you don't know. So I'm going to call this sniper. Also, right now, this is, big open space. This is not, this is not a place where, people are already off the streets or wouldn't react to gunfire. This was a public plaza in the middle of the day. So it's, there's now panic and people running and screaming. So, inSPECTRE, what would you like to do?
I'm going to grab the guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, come with me if you want to live. And I'm going to start pulling him away and towards the alley that we came out of.
Yeah, I don't think a roll is needed for that. He's like, yeah, okay. I do, actually, so I will. Okay, so I think you don't need a roll to persuade him to come, but just trying to get to cover and, break line of sight with wherever the sniper is, which I think you only Silhouette saw the sniper's position because you had a last second of hey, wait, there's a rifle barrel coming out of that window. But otherwise, you didn't see the sniper themselves. But okay, so I would say, tell me what trait you would like to use to try to get to cover.
Could I use study to look around and see if I can see the sniper? So that way I can move out of.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. So go ahead and make a study. This is certainly risky. Because it was only desperate before because it's sort of you didn't know the sniper was there, and it was actually technically a separate role that this was an unrelated consequence to, but that's how this game works. But in any case, yeah, so it's risky, and I think in this case it's going to be a limited effect though, because right now, you don't have a good sense of this sniper's location or characteristics, and you're starting in just a big plaza, right? So you're going to start making some progress, but right now only limited benefit so far. So are you going to push your roll, or would you like a devil's bargain, or any of these sorts of things, or you just want a straight up study roll?
I think I'm just gonna straight up go for it.
Okay. Okay, look, that's a 5. So for risky with a 5, you do it, but there's a consequence. You suffer harm, a complication occurs, you have reduced effect, you end up in a desperate position. So I think that you are going to, where is my clock thing? Yeah, so you're going to get 1 tick of the clock. And which is just to, you're on your way to cover. You've moved yourself out of like the primary, field of vision, but there's nothing that has like stopped the sniper from trying to reposition or do something else. You also don't like know who they are or what they want or what's going on.
Okay.
But you've made some progress there. I think that the minor consequence that you might suffer here is that the Morris has a valise, a little briefcase type of bag that presumably has like important documents in it. And he's going to drop it as he's trying to run. Now, you can try to resist that consequence if you like.
Yeah, I'm going to try to resist it because I'm sure those documents are important.
Okay, great. So I think then your resistance roll, this is probably for just like the quickness of recovering that. I think probably prowess is the sensible resistance roll there.
These tabs. 3.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you're going to end up with taking 3 stress, but as he, what is that putting you close or?
That is like I am stressed to the max.
Okay, so it's full, but just full or full, and you can't take you can't take 3.
No, it was exactly 3.
Okay,
that was what I had left.
Let me double check because I think that the I want to, let's see. Oh, for Pete's sake. I want to double check because if it might be that when you mark your last stress is what does it. So let me just double check the rules here. Stress and trauma. So yeah. Let's see. When a PC marks their last stress box. So, and I think it's a little bit different in this because it's, oh yeah, this is deadlock territory. This is why you might sometimes want to, if you have primed one of your keys, you would want to turn the key for an automatic success plus a deadlock to avoid being turned down, taken out. But let me find it. So, trying to read through my table of contents here. Okay, there we go, 152. Okay, so that was not what I needed. I believe that what happens here is that you are going to be taken out of the scene because you're marking your last stress. Yeah. So
page 155. So.
Yeah. When you run out of stress, marking the last stress box, your character has reached a moment of crisis. They're out of the action for a few moments or maybe the rest of the scene. But once they've gathered themselves, they come back with 0 stress. However, when this happens, you need to mark the explosion box next to a key. So what are your keys currently? Now, I also remember that I think you had not actually chosen all of your keys.
I have 2. I have eccentric and charismatic.
Right. So I think you could have at any point decided any other one of them. You have empty spaces for them. You could have just chosen another at some point, or you can deadlock one of those. But the idea is you can no longer mark whichever one you choose for XP, and it no longer applies to your character, and you have to choose the corresponding deadlock, which might mean that it gets worse or that it gets reversed. And so it would depend on which key you're looking at. So do you have thoughts on that? You could also create a brand new key that you just hadn't used so far if you wanted to do that instead and not waste the marks you've got, which is technically allowed, although it's a little bit cheesing the system a little bit. It's within the rules, but it's also kind of not as intended.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and deadlock charismatic.
Okay, so charismatic, it suggests that charismatic could become cold or it could become manipulative.
Do I get to pick?
I mean, you do get to pick. It also doesn't have to be one of those 2 words. Those are just the suggested examples of what could happen to charismatic.
I kind of like the idea of becoming manipulative because, I mean, it seems like the logical switch from being someone who's, bubbly and charismatic to using those same kinds of abilities to manipulate.
Yeah. Okay. So go ahead and write manipulative in your new deadlock thing. And it does mean now that you have a new way to get XP, which would be to deal with some trouble because of your deadlock trait. Now, also, I'm going to suggest, I'll kind of give you the option here, but because you're going to be, taken out for the current of this scene, I wonder if perhaps you are kind of shoving Morris towards cover, but then he drops the briefcase, and then you going back for the briefcase. I think maybe there's just this moment of you're bending down to pick it up, realizing you could get shot by a sniper at any moment, and you're just going, what the hell am I doing? And you just grab the bag and just run off on your own. And that's a suggestion. That. You like that?
Yeah.
Okay. So you do not follow where you had been pushing Morris to go. Instead, you just take off on your own without communicating to anybody else where you might be going. And you have the briefcase. So perhaps you will be able to reunite with your friends after this current crisis is done. But for the meantime, nobody knows where you've gone. All right. So Morris was running for cover, assuming that Pyretta was right behind him. What are you doing, Crash and Silhouette?
I'm going after Morris to make sure that he gets out all right, because I still want to get this job.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do I see Pyretta take off?
Yeah, so she's grabbed the suitcase, but then she's run off in some other direction. You don't know where she's going.
Okay, well, I'm going to follow Morris. I figure she knows what she's doing.
Okay. So tell me, what this looks like, what you're doing to try to get yourselves out of danger. Because right now, you have to assume this sniper could be trying to line up another shot at any moment.
I want to break line of sight. I want to get into an alley, cut left, cut right, get behind a dumpster.
Sure. So tell me how you're trying to do that. You have to pick one of your skill traits, too.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know. Does skirmish work?
Skirmish...
Or would it be finesse?
I mean, technically you can pick any one you want, But
Okay.
depending on what you do, I might say that you're going to have like more risk or or less effect as a result of how much it kind of makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
So skirmish is usually meant for like fighting, but it does sort of reflect a sort of like, quick movement and anticipating your enemy's actions, and so you can do that. I think I would give you the same that I gave Pyretta, which was risky limited for skirmish.
Okay. I think prowl is actually, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I don't have any dots in it, so
Prowl is definitely
um,
because it's kind of all about kind of trying to remain
run, jump,
unseen and yeah.
yeah,
So yeah,
dodge.
I would say I would give you standard for that.
Okay.
Risky standard.
Risky standard, 0 bonus dice.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
Okay, so it would be the lowest of the two. First of all, you mark XP because you're rolling a 0 dice um,
yep.
roll, but you still get 6. It's not a crit, unfortunately, because it's the 0. But nonetheless, getting a 6 is definitely good. So you're gonna mark um, 2 ticks on your clock here, which is to say, I think with Morris, you sort of like gather him up and you're able to sort of like force him to serpentine and get around a corner where,
Serpentine, serpentine.
like you've not lost the sniper, but you think you've probably got him at least out of the immediate line of sight. The threat is not past, but it's, you've made some progress. Whereas Silhouette is the only one who actually saw the sniper's original position, which is just up in a nearby building adjoining like across the street from the plaza, this fountain plaza.
See the both of them take off. Good idea. If we split up, we'll have a harder time catching us. So there's a question I have, which is a setting question, which is going to become very relevant in a second.
Yeah?
And that is, what is the experience of the world when you're in the resonance field?
I think it's very strange and probably not necessarily consistent, even the same person doing it more than once, it might not be the same every time. So I guess tell me a little bit more about what you have in mind.
Well, I'm about to step into it.
Yeah.
He's an echo walker, and he can step into the resonance field and come out wherever he wants to, as long as he could have moved there. The question is, can I perceive the real world enough to go after the sniper?
I think yes. I think in fact, actually, one of the like prime examples that they give for this ability in the book is similar to what you're describing here.
It sort of is, but it's also kind of vague because
yeah. So like this special ability, you've got Echo Walker, right? The idea is you would have had to be able to move there physically, but so like when the diplomat comes out on the balcony to wave to the crowd, the Echo Walker could appear in the hotel room behind them to rifle through their desk. As long as it's plausible they could have moved there physically, like they can't appear in a locked vault, they can appear whenever and wherever they want at any dramatic moment. So that sounds to me like this could work, right? Because the window's open, right? And so I would say, per the rule, the way that it's written, you can do this. I want you to tell me what it looks like and your experience is. Now, to some extent, I think like one sort of version of how we could imagine this is like when, Frodo puts on the One Ring, right? Like suddenly he's sort of like in the ethereal plane or something like that, right? But I think it's certainly true that when you're stepping into the resonance field, you're no longer really bound by conventional physics.
Okay. So, I think he would kind of try to break line of sight so he doesn't know that he's disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
So basically running around the other side of the fountain
Okay.
from the perspective of the shooter. There are other people around that are going to probably notice something weird.
Mm-hmm.
But as he's literally going to just fade out as he crosses over the boundary and finds himself in the resonance field. I think in his perception, whereas most of the time in the real world, he's attracted to color, he's attracted to pattern.
Mm-hmm.
It is like the wireframe version of the world with all the color and all the detail kind of taken out when you kind of get that black and white filter. And at that point, he continues to run. And again, I don't know how time is implied here because they kind of suggest that you can come out at whatever time you like.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just, they can choose at any point in time to come out, or they can say it only takes me 1 second to get up there. But the intention is to move as quickly as possible up through that building, to be standing right behind where the shooter was, with his silenced pistol, which is already at the ready.
Great.
To pump a couple of shots into him.
So this is not even a roll, but you do mark 2 stress to use the ability.
Yes.
And
there's a harm.
Yes, there's a level 1 harm because when you reappear, you are so cold, it says. But you can resist that if you would like to try.
I would like to try. I think that's a prowess resistance, a physical resistance.
I would think so, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to do that. No bonus dice, but I resist 4. So
yeah, so that would be 2 additional stress.
Okay.
Great.
Not stressed out yet.
Yes. So here's the additional wrinkle as this works, is that you are zipping through to the physical place that you had mentally identified. You're moving through the resonance field. It's very, it's a very strange, but you have been trained for this. So in the ways that you're able to move within the field, not just anyone could do this, but you are moving through, you make yourself appear up in this hotel room. But what's immediately obvious to you when you get there is that there is another resonance field presence in that vicinity. And sure enough, when you reemerge in the hotel room, you see that the sniper is, in fact, Agent 2, the resonance echo sniper that tried to kill you following your first botched job. And so you are going to that. So you have that information, and now you have the opportunity to do what you would like to do upon first arriving there. And I think depending on how that goes, we will determine how quickly they are alerted to your presence.
Do I have any notion about whether physical bullets will hurt a resonance echo?
That's a good question. I think you would know whether they would or not. Let me do a little bit of quick look. I think that they theoretically can. It's maybe harder. Like it doesn't work quite the same. So it might be something where you would have 1 less level of effect normally compared to a human.
Okay.
So that's kind of my first thought there. Let's see. Yeah. So I think ultimately, yeah, it kind of comes down to it would be perhaps less effective than a person, but can still damage. Like what you had done the last time was you basically shot their rifle because they are holding a physical rifle.
So as he emerges out of the shadow, ironically moving away from part of the eminence of this resonance echo, he comes into the room. There'd be the immediate sort of effect of steam almost because he's coming from this cold area. So it's almost a little shadow of its own. With the gun now loaded with those tranq rounds, he'll take a shot and try and hopefully have caught up to it, surprised it.
Yeah,
but
I think they cannot be tranquilized. But also unclear if they you
Oh yeah, I
might
suppose
dissipate them rather
they might
than
not
kill
die
them,
so much
right?
as yeah.
Like you
Okay,
might
well,
sort of.
no trank rounds. He would have been able to tell a little bit closer what it was, although
Mhm.
it might have detected him. But I want to prowl. I want to sneak up to the guy.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Yeah. So, you have approached in a way that you think that he could not have anticipated that you would suddenly be behind him. He thinks he's safe. I think you're watching him um, follow your friends running and maybe getting ready to move to a different window because this is like a corner office that you're in. I said hotel room, but it's actually an office that's got windows along both walls of the corner.
Okay. I
Oh, so
is
yeah,
there
so this is still risky
okay?
because he is just right there if something could go wrong, right?
Hmm.
But it is I think standard effect to account for both that you would normally have slightly less potency, but higher because you're potentially catching him by surprise.
Okay.
So risky standard is
Risky
all of that
standard.
explanation lined up to risky standard.
Is there a devil's bargain offered?
I think there is always one potentially available. And I think that, let's see, the devil's bargain in this case could be that he will, gosh. So I think, yeah, that right now, even though you shot his gun out of his hands the last time, this is still business for him. You don't really know his motivations entirely right now. You might, if you wanted to find out, you might have to think about how you would try to do that. But I think that I'll tell you right now that it is not it is not yet personal, but it will be if you want this devil's bargain.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm all in for that.
Yeah.
Um, I will. Yes, I will take that.
Okay.
I will. So it's
Good, good.
risky standard right now.
Yeah, and you get one bonus for your devil's bargain.
Uh-huh.
You're sneaking up on this hazy, glowing, translucent figure who seems to be their sort of residual body images wearing all sorts of like camouflage gear, which is a little moot because it certainly stands out against like the office furniture. Since they're glowing and everything, but they are holding an all too real sniper rifle.
Okay. I love doing this because it's terrifying. I will trade position for effect to make it a
Okay.
desperate, great effect.
Great, love that.
I'll take that XP.
Sure, and think about if you're doing a key as well. Just because it's ideally good whenever you think you're embodying a key to do that in the moment instead of
I will say yeah, calculating. He is plotting every single moment of this to make sure for maximum effect.
Great.
Rushing in before he can react, even if it does see him. Taking this moment to take out or at least disable perhaps a long-standing thing. So I'll take the calculating.
Great.
I am also going to push myself.
Okay, you're loading yourself up on stress.
I've got one stress left.
Okay.
So I won't be able to resist any consequences.
Remember, this whole idea was that you're going to do a job after this.
I know.
All right.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's
yeah. That's great.
terrible.
No, I love it. Absolutely. I'm thrilled to have this happening right now.
Okay. So we are at desperate. We are at great effect. We are at 2 extra dice.
Yes.
All right. There's a 6.
Look at that. 6.
Nice.
Fantastic. So
It was the
great
last
effect
die I
with
rolled.
a 6.
So I really needed it.
Yeah. I think great effect on with getting a 6. That means you fill the clock. So that means that you are defeating the sniper right here. So, as we discussed, this is more of a case of he's being dissipated, and you suspect probably will reform at some point. It's a little bit more involved to try to really put a resonance echo as coherent as he is down for good. But what does it look like when you do disrupt his current sort of manifestation enough that he cannot recover it for now?
As he steps out of the resonance field and kind of slowly regains the normal color and look, the steam rolling off of him, it is 3 quick shots. One in a limb, like a leg, one in the head area, and one center mass. So maximum dispersion to try to disrupt all 3 of them at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And as he's turning around, the last shot kind of rips through his chest, and he falls back out of the window, dissipating at the same time.
Yeah. And I think even as that's happening, we have in the super slow-mo a moment of eye contact where he has turned to look, and he sees you, and at first is confused and then furious and then
Yeah, and with the left hand, just a little wave as he falls away.
Yeah. So the good news here is that you also now have a quite nice sniper rifle if you would choose to carry it with you.
Yes.
This is going to count for 2 load if you want to carry it around with you. However, this is in the same way that gear can be like higher quality gear. This is a fine sniper rifle, which generally just means that you get an extra, like, more powerful effect when you use it.
Curious, is it better than the fine sniper rifle I already have?
Oh, well, I guess it would be the same.
Okay.
Where did you have that one from before?
That's part of his core kit.
Oh,
kit
right,
is to
yeah,
have
okay.
that.
So I guess then, because I wanted it to be useful. Let's see. Yeah. So you already had fine sniper rifle. You know what? I think it's the same, but you think you could sell it for 2 stacks.
Okay. Or I could sell my generic one and carry his because his is maybe got a little etching on it, or I know where it's from.
Yeah.
Plus, it also makes it personal.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah. So you have his, and it's got like it's a reflection of it's got like the Blackthorn. Actually, you know what? Never mind. I take it back. It looks like highly customized, but there's no logos or inscriptions or anything of any kind. That's not how he rolls.
Okay. Yeah, that works. I added it with the note taken from Agent 2.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping there would be like some weird little 2 inscribed somewhere, like really tiny.
I think that you can tell that this is the sort of situation where it's like it doesn't have his name on it or anything like that, but it is just like so like specifically customized that like this is like you are sure that there is a serious sentimental attachment to it.
He might also have kind of almost an ethereal afterglow, being part of this creature's arsenal for so long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 You know what? Maybe that's what it is, actually, now that I think about it, is that it is fine, but it's also got a special little gizmo on it that creates a lightning charge on the bullet, which makes it more
Oh.
powerful than it would be otherwise against resonance echo targets.
Nice.
Yeah. And I was just checking the monetary values here. A fine firearm would be 2 stacks. So if you wanted to sell that or sell the one you had already, for example, 2 stacks would be how much that would fetch.
Cool.
Although I think maybe that's the starting value. You know, that's how much it would be for you to buy one.
Yeah. No, I'm keeping this one.
Great. So in any case, yes, you have now defeated the sniper here and eliminated this sort of initial threat. I think none of you ever had eyes on the person that Morris saw, so you don't really know what happened to them, but probably they ran away because pretty much everyone else in the plaza did. But so, would you have had an arrangement for like some place to meet back up if you got separated?
Yes.
Where would that have been?
I think that there would be like an art gallery that's kind of, you know, doesn't have the world's greatest art, so they don't have a lot of people coming and going, or maybe it's just really expensive. And so we figure we can duck in there and look at the art in the back. And
So I have an idea for this. So in the Speed Racer movie, there's a whole bit where the bad guy has like this old wrecked engine on display that he has sentimental value for because it was part of like rigging a race to increase stock prices for like a specific company. And so it's basically like it's a museum, but like all of the art and exhibits are like important financial artifacts. Like their significance is all about how they made someone a lot of money. Or it reflects some time that someone made a bunch of money. And so like that's the theme of this museum, and it's one of those things where the rich guys like to donate to it and have galas, but it's not very popular amongst just the normal public.
okay, that works.
All right, cool. So I think you can all reunite there at that point, since it's everyone kind of went in scattered directions in that way.
Do I go there? Do I remember enough
so
to go there?
the scene was dealing with the sniper. So yeah. And especially I think Crash, as you are escorting Morris, he's I had anticipated that potentially crossing the Dirt Barrens might be dangerous, but I'm astounded or confounded by the thought that they would try to kill me right there. I mean, it doesn't even really make sense. It's not their MO. They would want to know what I was doing, what I had told you. Like, I don't understand why someone would have tried to kill me like that.
That is very confounding. And I think, the Dirt Barons should be high on the list, but that, like you said, they're not the obvious choice. So it makes me wonder if there's somebody else.
Well, so I saw someone. Yes, it was Nav. Navia Sikastet. She's a former Eruvian spy. She works for the Dirt Barons now, and she's, I've seen her around, and but I mean, at the same time, like, even if she was following me, you only just approached me. How could she have been following me and set up a sniper when I haven't even had any conversation with you yet?
I think
She
the
couldn't.
incidents are unrelated.
Yeah. What else has been going on with you that might make you a target?
His eyes are going wide. He's like, I don't know. I mean, the job, here, and he reaches for the valise that I assume that you're holding out to
Yeah,
him. It's like,
I'll give it to him.
The job that I was supposed to deliver to the Dirt Barons was certainly coming from higher up than typical. The Scorpion Syndicate was wanting them to do something for them, but like that's sort of a big deal job. But I still can't understand why. I can't comprehend why anyone would want me dead over it. I mean, all I'm supposed to be doing is the messenger to just carry out the to hand over the orders and give the contact information. Why would someone kill me for that?
Who are you supposed to deliver it to?
Well, I was supposed to deliver it to Nav, with the Dirt Barons.
Okay, so she was just there because she was just to be the next line in
No,
the
I was not.
chain.
I was not supposed to give it to her at the Fountain Plaza. I was supposed to give it to her at their headquarters.
Okay.
There wasn't supposed to be anyone at the Fountain Plaza. I just like it. I just stopped there on my way to work. I wasn't supposed to be meeting anyone there.
What did you have for breakfast? Never mind.
Oatmeal?
It's probably not
Oatmeal?
relevant, but I'm wondering if we trace back your steps, if someone thinks you've crossed a line, or potentially could, they're not wrong, so that's important. Also,
I'll remind the player that you know who it was, and that the coincidence of it maybe seems unlikely. That the fact that the sniper in question happens to be a sniper that you've specifically crossed before and who has tried to kill you before.
That's a separate issue.
Is it?
Are we playing stupid? Like we don't.
I mean, up to you. I'm just saying that, like,
Yeah.
Certainly, I think if you have, like, I don't know what you've shared with the others. Maybe you're not letting Morris know that.
Not
and
yet.
That's fine. But I guess I just wanted to make sure that the player understood that it's like, it would be a pretty big coincidence for a sniper of that character. Like, you don't get that guy to just shoot some rando.
I think that you might have stumbled into something more important than anyone realized. And your best bet right now, clearly, is to work for us. Now, we won't try to risk your life unnecessarily. But you know how these things work. You are already risking your life working for the Dirt Barons. Now is your chance to work for someone a little bit less likely to shoot you at random.
Well, that's appealing.
Good, good. You'll do fine.
Do you think they're still trying to kill me? I mean, can I go home? Can I go to work?
We have a base where you will be absolutely safe.
We need him in place.
I have a job. I go to a book club.
We need him in place. So unfortunately, you might get mugged in the next few minutes. Nothing broken, just a few bruises to make it convincing. That you lost the case. But you worked really hard to defend it.
Okay.
Because you see, are now entering into a new kind of level of experience. You, my friend, are becoming a double agent. It pays twice as well, but the risks are there.
How hard do you think I had to work to defend it?
I mean, there might be a few contusions.
As he's saying that, like, I will Just punch him in the face.
Yeah, no roll required. He just immediately like bloody. He just crumples to the ground, bloody nose, eye swelling already. and
Sorry.
yeah.
We need to leave him
All right.
someplace he'll be fine and found.
Yeah. I'm gonna help him with the pain.
If you keep
Just-
hitting him, he won't feel any pain eventually.
Just
What if
to,
we tranquilize him?
So you're gonna do like a healing sort of deal? Is that the
yeah,
idea?
I want him to look
Right. Okay.
bad, but not feel bad.
Well, it might go some ways towards persuading him that he's also not just actually being mugged. Right. That you are. So I think the other question would be, from his point of perspective, like, what is he getting out of this? Because right now what he's gotten is shot at and punched in the face.
Have anything we can give him? We don't have any stacks left, do we?
I mean, it could be promise of future compensation,
We'll pay him a stack.
How much are the Dirt Barons paying?
I think like a stack is reasonable in this context.
Okay.
And it's also, I think, paying him a stack here will kind of sort of officially make him a contact for future stuff, in addition to getting this job from his briefcase.
Okay. So
Or you could not do that, right? Like you could literally just say, okay, we're taking the briefcase now, goodbye.
No, because then the Dirt Barons are on to us because we screwed him over.
I mean, they might be anyway. They were there at the fountain. But
then so there was a shot, so I mean anything could have happened.
Okay.
And then we grabbed him and ran.
Yep.
So
I would say that there's a chance. But yeah, it certainly if you want him on your payroll, that will reduce the likelihood that the Dirt Barons know that you're,
we will arrange for him to get
subverting
some
them.
interesting mail tomorrow.
Okay.
We don't want to leave a stack on him if he's been robbed. We want to make it look like he's lost everything.
Mm-hmm.
But in his inbox tomorrow, he'll find a comfortable reward.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
And then I shoot him with a tranquilizer.
Well, let me. Do I need to roll to heal him?
Well, I guess if he's being tranquilized, then I mean,
Well,
I think if you want to do a tinker roll to to just try to because you have like pills, right? Like I don't know if any of your pills are for
I
this.
have focus pills, but
okay.
Focus on the pain.
Yeah, so let's just, because it's a wrench roll, I believe, that you do for your healing. Yeah, so I could say you do controlled standard in this.
Where is wrench?
It's or tinker. I don't remember
Tinker.
what it says on
Tinker. Yeah.
The
tinker.
problem is the PDF and the other things don't match. Is the
Right.
issue there?
Yeah, my goal is to make him look like
okay.
he's
I
been
get it.
worked
I get
over,
it. I
but
get it.
not feel
Yeah,
it.
I get it.
Position,
Yes, I just said that. Controlled standard.
controlled standard.
Mm-hmm.
5.
Okay. Yeah, 5. I think. Let's see. You know what? I'll just say in this case, there's not really any sort of like a minor consequence. It's just sort of like it still hurts, but thank you. He's his nose stops bleeding. It's still all down his like face and on his shirt, but it's no longer actively bleeding.
Right. The idea is to make it look bad without you feeling bad. So play
I
it
think
up.
he's standing there sniffling with a bloody nose, blood on his face, eye already swelling. He looks pretty bad. He's a kicked dog right now.
Okay. The point is to help him
Yeah, no, I get it.
frame it.
For sure. Yes. I think you've done some good work in that regard.
Okay.
And he is basically just going to find out tomorrow whether you meant what you said or not. But in the meantime, you ditch him somewhere, I assume. Or just say, all right, move along. Make your way back to wherever you're going.
We'll leave him somewhere where he'll be found by the Dirt Barons.
Okay. Oh, so you are tranquilizing him, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Um, so yeah, so you do that. And I think his last words before collapsing into unconsciousness is that really necessary? Oh, immediately
He's gonna
out.
have to get used to that, I think.
These
Yeah.
darts are so cool.
I love these darts.
We should make scarce while we can, but we've got a few things to talk about. What's really going on?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do that not here.
All right.
Yeah.
So what I'll go ahead and just tell you is that when you examine the papers, in addition to just other miscellaneous like business stuff that is just his normal job, you find the envelope that was meant to go to the Dirt Barons, and what it is it's from the Scorpion Syndicate, which is like a big deal criminal organization. Um, again, we can do some rolls to see like how much you know about them specifically, but you would know at the very least they're a big deal. They're tier 4. So yeah, the Scorpion Syndicate has wanted the Dirt Barons to find out where the turf and headquarters of the Golden Hand is. And they've got some leads, but what they want is that they want the location of the hidden headquarters and any additional information that can be got from it. They're not asking for an assault or a theft of anything. They want the location, A, and B, any additional information that you can get about it, like how it's guarded, secret entrances, those sorts of things might provide bonuses. That's the job. The Golden Hand. So first of all, the Scorpion Syndicate, a massive and sophisticated Severosi drug smuggling operation, mainly dealing in Black Lotus. So I would say that just to start. They're a big deal. But the Golden Hand, less about, at least to start. But what is that there have been various sort of like the crime of it is not exactly clear, but there have been bursts of violence, like attacks, raids on various other gangs and such by an army of gold-plated hulls. The hulls are, of course, these these like robot bodies that are by the Lusk Clinic is making the good ones that follow orders and do city work and such, but these are gold-plated ones that are doing hit and run tactics on various other gangs and so on, and I think their motives are mysterious. But the job here offers some leads. They are pretty sure that their headquarters is somewhere in Daggertown, which is in the Docks neighborhood. And coincidentally enough, is also the neighborhood where the Keel Twins headquarters, or not their headquarters, but rather the place where you met them to get that initial handoff. At the start of the campaign. It's the same neighborhood. It's not like, so it's not like a same address, although right now all is the neighborhood.
Right.
Right. But I think you do just sort of flag, hey, isn't that the same neighborhood where we blank, So they think that it's somewhere in Daggertown. Probably they've got some stuff below ground, but with that many hulls, especially fancy sort of custom ones like they've almost certainly got to have some kind of like machine tools and workshop space to be able to maintain those things.
Now,
like specialized equipment too. So like, you're not going to be able to do this like, in a back alley or, an apartment above a pet store, right? Like they're going to need sophisticated equipment to do it.
Now, am I remembering correctly that the hulls have resonance echoes, like guiding them?
Yes. So,
Okay.
so It's still a little bit unclear. There's some mysteries about the nature of it, but the short version is like this is the version that sells to the public is isn't it wonderful that this great organization, the Lusk Reform Clinic, has come up with a solution to crime, which is you take these dangerous, violent criminals and you strip them of a part of their resonance echo, and it leaves them as a hollow, which is, you know, their body, but now in kind of a sort of compliant way. And you use the energy you got to power a hull, which also does good work for the city. Right?
Seems legit.
Now, any suggestion that the person's identity actually continues on in that hull, if that's true, it's like rumor only. That is not part of the pitch. The idea is the process by which you make the criminal into a hollow provides energy that powers the hull. But you never
I kind of have an idea.
Lots of people have theories about how it works, but like I said, that's the public version.
I have an idea for how we could sort of seek them, but would their like resonance energy still register like on a fine resonance gauge?
Yeah, probably.
That's my plan.
Yeah. I'll also just like remind you that if you're wanting to do like gather information roles, that you know, your informants specifically give you bonus dice on making gather information roles related to your job.
Well, then I think we should do gather information rolls on.
Before we go too far away from the moment, I do want to let you both know that I was absolutely lying to Mr. Morris about the sniper. I don't think they had anything to do with Mr. Morris. And hopefully they aren't going to have anything to do with anything for a little while. It was Agent 2, who we've seen before, cropping up in our business. Now, that might mean they're just trying to interfere with our business, or that we are a target. I'm pretty sure that I'm a target anyway now, because I watched them dissipate into nothing. And that was
nice
a
work.
really good moment. And I have this little souvenir, and it'll unpack. Presumably, it had a packing travel case.
Yeah.
Unpack the sniper rifle. I don't know how many sniper rifles Agent 2 has, but it'll take a while to get one this good again. So they might even try to come for it. I don't know. It'll be an interesting day. But that's another thing. Who are they working for, and why after us? So we might know more than we think we know. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
We need to do some gather information rolls on that.
Yeah, I'd like to know who they were hired by or what.
Who they work for.
A reminder that gather information roles always cost time. So you can do as many as you want, but the clock moves when you do.
Was there a time frame given or a pressure on the mission or the job itself?
Not necessarily, although there's certainly an implication whenever a big organization that deals drugs asks you to do something. I think the idea is chop chop.
Yeah. Well, and because we stole the job, they might follow up.
But there's not a deadline like, you know, must be by Friday or something like that. Yeah. It's more just kind of like ASAP.
So it's time to ask a whole lot of questions and find out some things. Probably the mission is a good start. Put a line out for the Agent 2 job, though, too. And this Navia, bigger fish than expected for this, too.
I am starting a new clock that is specifically, it's another 6 clock, and it is for locating the Golden Hand headquarters. And then, like I said, if you want to try to go for extra stuff, you could potentially get bonuses for it, but you know the risk will increase, of course.
I love risk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're fresh,
Just my
fresh out, fresh back down to cleared stress,
yeah. I was just gonna say, I was like, am I unstressed now? I feel amazing.
Yes, when you return, you are down to 0 stress.
Okay.
And none of us know that you freaked out. We think you just, grabbed the briefcase and ran in a different direction to confuse the sniper. Good work.
Yep. That is exactly what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way to keep your head about you, Red.
All right.
I like
So,
my head.
what sorts of things do you think you might be trying to do in order to locate this headquarters?
I want to move through this area of the city in like a car and run that find resonance locator.
Sure. The one thing that I'll add to that, and you absolutely can do this. We will do it. We'll do a roll for it in a moment. But given that the neighborhood of Daggerheart, or excuse me, Daggertown, not Daggerheart, is in the docks, and the docks tend to have a bit more like there's a paranormal activity. I guess it's not that high, but it's 2 out of 4 is the paranormal activity rating in the docks.
Okay.
So, but yeah, you can kind of be driving around with your little instruments, right? Trying to look for just like concentrations, but recognizing that when you find like peaks, it might. I think your gear. Well, I guess maybe we'll roll to see how fancy it could be. But I would say by and large, I think what you can easily sense is just like levels of activity, but it doesn't necessarily tell you what it is.
Right. What I want to find is where there's a big surge of activity, maybe like a factory or a base where they're like building these things that it would set it off like over the top.
Well, so as I mentioned, we've got a clock here where so certainly you can narrow it down perhaps with this move, unless you would want to try so you might have to do additional moves from there if we're starting with this one. That's all. Yeah.
I would like to do a survey.
Okay. And you have your it's your gears, like it says it's a fine something or
It's
other.
a handheld device that measures resonance within the vicinity. It can be used to detect paranormal activity and locate resonance entities.
Fantastic. Okay, great. I think then that will be a standard effect, controlled for the moment. Although actually one of the I was about to say the docks was the neighborhood where the increased patrols had been, but then I forgot that you guys actually cleared that. So, yeah, so I'd say this is controlled and standard effect.
And since I'm fresh out of stress, I'm going to push myself.
Great.
For an extra dice.
Can I help with Tinker to, like make sure the device is operating?
Yeah, or to like
maximal...
extend its range or something like that.
Yeah. Or
yeah. So I think you can. Yeah. So basically, you mark 1 stress to add a die as well.
Okay.
I believe that's how it works, right?
I think so.
I believe so.
All right, here goes. Oh my god, I've been rolling so bad.
Yeah, so unfortunately for you, the highest result there is a 3, which is a failure. But because this was controlled, it's not so bad as it might have been. So I think your choices here are either to say, well, there's no consequence, but you're going to have to try something else. Or you can
Did our informants come into this?
Did you I don't think you did an extra. Well, so I guess this still counts as a gather information. Um, well, actually, I think weirdly enough, the way that we described this, it's not really a gather information. It's more like
No.
specifically looking, right? As opposed to taking time. You're specifically looking as opposed to like researching, right? So I think in
Sorry to
this
interrupt. I
case,
just wanted to make sure we didn't
no,
forget
no,
that because
that's
we just talked about it.
it's a good call. But I think just given the way that we ended up describing it, it's more of a direct action than a gather information.
Okay.
But in any case, because it was controlled, that means that you can either sort of, pull back and get a different, try it doing it a different way, or you can press on by seizing a risky opportunity, or withdraw by, try a different approach. So if you want to make it a risky roll, you can try the same roll again. But I think that this maybe just reflects that even with the enhancement, you're not detecting enough. You think it's possible that like just the buildings here are blocking too much of it to do it from the distance that you were hoping for, and you're going to have to get closer to each building in order to maybe have it work.
That would mean walking. Could I?
Yeah.
Could
So
I?
either
Yeah.
you try something else, or you can try doing the same thing, but it's risky now because you have to get closer.
Yeah, I will. I will try getting closer.
Okay. All right. I think it's a new role, so you don't get the same benefit of pushing yourself. You would have to do it again if you want that. Same with the help.
I will totally push myself again.
Okay. Are you marking a stress to help again, Crash?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so it's 3.
Yeah. So
You
same
said it's
number of dice,
risky
but now it's risky.
and still standard.
Yes. So you're look at that, 6.
Yes.
Okay, so that's going to be 2 ticks of the clock. All right. I think that the issue is, as you're moving around, you're starting to see spikes of activity here and there, but as you are like trying to narrow in on where they are, you start to realize that you're not getting the spikes from like individual buildings, but you think that there must be something like larger underground. And that's where the actual activity is. But it means there's not necessarily yet one specific obvious building that would be the way in.
Okay.
Right? So you suspect that there must be some kind of an underground complex that has a way in somewhere. And you're kind of like driving around and saying, okay, it's going up. Wait, no, it's going down again. Do you see anything? So it's kind of like that, but you've narrowed it down. There's an area, and whatever the activity is, it's underground, but you've kind of narrowed it down to like within a few blocks.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Now you can still do gather information rolls, like as we just discussed. Like this one was more of a direct action, but you could also, make use of the informants. Like, hey, informants, what do you know about this golden hand? Where do you think they might be? What do these leads tell you? That sort of thing.
Well, let's go see.
Or lots of any other things
Yeah.
you might tell me what you might try.
Well, let's try our informants.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So certainly you head back to, your little information nest where you've got the sibling informants.
Mhm.
give them what they need to know. And so the gather information role is still ultimately you're still choosing you're still choosing a trait to, like which skill. So someone's still making a roll with one of their skills. So the most common gather information actions would be surveying or studying. But with the informants, you get 1 extra die for that.
Okay. I guess I will do a survey roll to go over, like, we'll make a heat map of where we found all the good detections and overlay it on a map of Daggertown and see if they can help us figure out where the entrances and exits are, because now we think they've got some kind of underground facility. And obviously it needs power, it needs water, it needs air, it needs entrances and exits. And so where could it be?
I think one of the is it Ascot? Afcot? What was I forgetting their last name? Your informants. I think one of them
Afton
reminds
and
you.
Ada.
Yes, but the last name Ascot.
Oh, Alcott.
Alcott. See, I knew it was not. I was missing a letter. I think that one of the things that they point out as you say that, Crash, is that actually, if they are all hulls, they might not need air.
That's a good point.
Silhouette, are you there when Crash goes to talk to them? Or are you off doing your own thing?
No, he needs to be there because he wants to find out what's going on.
Okay, yeah. Well, I just, you could have Crash doing that while you do something else, but up to you. But yeah, if you're there, I think though that they respond as they're looking up stuff. They just say, "Is Silhouette going to go find them?"
Yeah.
And they ask Crash that even though you're standing right there, Silhouette.
Do they speak in unison?
No, but they trade off sentences like it's clear that they're obviously thinking the same things.
Okay.
It's just they sort of like take turns who's asking the next question, but they're all along the same line. You know what I mean?
It always makes me think whenever they're around as like Talladega Nights when he went to go see him, and it was the "We Are Breeze."
Yeah. Is Silhouette going to get electrocuted again?
Well, he certainly hopes not.
They look a little bit crestfallen. So in any case, you can be preparing your role here. This is also controlled, and you have the 1 bonus for your informants. And then this would also be, I think this is still standard effect.
Okay.
Okay. So a 4, I'm going to say that's, you can get 2 ticks of the clock with a minor consequence, or you can get 1 tick with no consequence.
I'll take 2 ticks.
Okay. I will go ahead and take those 2 ticks.
Vesper gets electrocuted.
I like that consequence.
Yeah. In fact, actually, although this is still a consequence that can be resisted right now, only by Crash because it's his role, but I will tell you that the consequence is actually not happening right now, but will happen when you find it, that there will be a hidden trap of some kind.
Okay. Well, I will resist it.
Okay.
And we find it.
I'm going to... Yeah,
What,
I
that
think
cost me a stress, right?
no. Well, you do the resistance roll to see how much stress it costs
Oh,
you.
okay. All right.
We have
This
to
would be
find it first.
the
Wouldn't-
smarty pants, the insight, whatever the wait, which what do they call it? The insight,
The
yeah,
smarty
insight
pants.
resistance roll.
Okay. Just an insight roll?
No, insight resistance roll.
Okay, I don't see where to click that on
Yeah,
my.
just
you
click
just
on
click. You
insight.
just click on insight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And 0 bonus dice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, so with a 5 there, that means it only costs you 1 stress
All right.
to resist that. So I think, you know, there's a little bit of a they look a little bit crestfallen, and perhaps there's a moment there where they're just saying, we would really prefer that he not be electrocuted, and they're like, I guess so. Probably they will have some sort of a trap set up to electrocute whoever touches the door if they don't do it right.
Okay. Well,
But yeah, so I think what this does is they have narrowed down that within that neighborhood there is a registered auto mechanic shop. And that it is the sort of business where mechanical noises and vehicles going in and out of it would not look strange. And it's in that neighborhood, so it seems like it is potentially a, a setup where, like, you might find yourself it's a suspicion, right?
Right.
They think that is the most likely. But you're still only at 4 ticks because it's kind of like it's not confirmed, and you don't have any idea of, like, you would want to confirm it and not just say, well, we're pretty sure it's here, but we don't know anything about confirmation or evidence or how you would get in, right? So that's why you're still only at 4 ticks. But what I will also suggest here is that there is a familiar detail about this auto mechanic.
Is that who I took the car to?
It is.
Oh, God. Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's an excuse to go back.
So, yes,
there.
to remind anyone who doesn't remember, your friend Goodrich loaned you his car for that first job, and it got damaged, but you took it to an auto mechanic, and there was a lot of kind of business about getting his help fixing it, including trying to channel his deceased mother, who basically gave him a hard time about working for criminals. And ultimately where we left it is that he fixed the car, but you owe him 1 stack for the work still.
Okay, that's a good reason to go there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If I had a stack. Which I don't.
Belsky was the name of the guy.
I think Silhouette should, like, steal a car and then, like, wreck part of it and take it there to get it fixed.
I mean, we have a van.
It's not a very good van, too, so I mean...
You also have the excuse that you owe him money already.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not going to be thrilled to do another job for you when you still owe him money from before.
That is true.
I was thinking about watching the place for a while. Slade and I could see if there's unusual deliveries to any part of the building or the neighborhood.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. right, Slade, the van is coming with us for. It's not broken yet, so don't get excited.
Yeah, were they with me when I took the car? I don't think they were.
I don't think so.
No.
Like it was just Pyretta. It was the only one that like dealt with him before. So
Right,
like you
so
don't that doesn't even need to be relevant if you don't want it to be.
I
Although
took our
certainly
friend with us.
if Red goes, then yeah.
I'm not gonna go.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm avoiding that guy because I owe him money.
Yeah. Fair. Great.
Yeah.
So Silhouette and Slade are gonna just stake out the place. Is that the idea here?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Okay.
think that Slade will have the van. We can park that somewhere nearby, so he's at a static location.
Mhm.
And Silhouette is going to kind of move around the space to see if they can find anything that's, other hidden entrances, exits, that sort of thing. So he's going to
Right.
be in constant motion.
Okay. Great. So I think what is the what's the move here?
I'm thinking survey.
Okay. Yeah. And so to some extent, this is a bit more like a gather information as well, because you're sort of taking the time to watch it, right?
Yeah.
It's not just scoping it out once, you're staking it out.
And if there happens to be a job that's pulled by them and during that, then I'm going to stay even longer or pay attention to see if they're retreating there.
Right. So I think just in the fiction, what we're reflecting here is that now that you've narrowed it down to pretty sure that there's something up with this building, it's in the right neighborhood, it's in the vicinity of these spikes. It has the kinds of machinery and other logistics that could be a potential cover for this sort of work that they would need. But unless you want to like go in and confront Belsky or something like that, if you just want to kind of watch and try to see if anything suspicious happens, that might be like a few days of surveillance, right? And so I think in that way, we can reflect that as a gather information.
Okay. So the +1 from the informants. Does Slade contribute?
He contributes in potentially. I think for this purpose, he does like narratively. What he would probably do is increase the level of effect because he's helping. You know what? He'll give you an extra die. Is what he does is in this circumstance because of the type of role we're doing.
Okay. What's the position and effect?
This is, I think, risky because you're a little bit closer and you're trying to stay in the vicinity long enough to see something. So it increases the possibility that someone coming to the building very suspicious could potentially spot, right? And so this is risky, but for standard effect.
Okay. Yeah, and I think that scoping out the joint, might rattle a few windows and doors as well. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, describe for me like what's the method? Well, I guess you kind of did a little bit. Like, so this is not just necessarily someone sitting in the back of a van pointing a camera out the darkened window, right? This is more.
That's what Slade's position is, to kind of take a fixed look spot at where we think the entrance is. But Silhouette is doing the tour up and down the different buildings and kind of looking at different angles and potentially going underground if there is an entrance for that. But that might be something he discovers. But he's willing to get his hands dirty for this.
Great.
And that's
look at that.
2 6s.
That means that it's critical. Ooh. So I think that for gather information, like you get exceptional details. The information is complete. Follow-up questions may expand into related areas or reveal more than you hoped for.
Excellent.
So I think that in this case, what happens is that, for a while, it's all pretty ordinary stuff. This guy runs a mechanic / back alley chop shop sort of setup here. It's the sort of thing where I think it's not explicitly like a chop shop as part of some organized ring so much as like if someone comes in and says, hey, I'm in a hurry. Can you repaint my car real quick? He's not the type to say, are you sure it's your car? It looks like it's been hot wired. I maybe should call the Blue Coats. No, right? He's more the guy who says, sure, no problem. Cash up front, please. That sort of thing. Unless, of course, you can trick him into like channeling his dead mother instead. But but in any case, so you see a fair amount of that type of work. So at the very least, this is like a front business that actually operates as a business in a straightforward way. But there is at one point, you see a big van is coming through. No, not even a van. Like this is a like a U-Haul type truck, right? Like it's a autopod, but it's like for cargo. So it's got a big container in the back, not quite like a big rig like tractor trailer, but like
a box truck.
A U-Haul, yeah, box truck. And specifically, one of the things that you notice is that it's riding like heavy. Like it's whatever it's got loaded in it, it's moving slow, and you see it's like really weighed down on its shocks, right? Something in there is heavy. And it rolls in, and although you have carefully hidden yourselves, you watch as there are more than you would normally expect of the level of people. Like the driver gets out of the truck and like looks around and is doing a lot of like, is anybody around? Is anybody looking? That sort of stuff, which, normally is like, when you go to the mechanic to drop your car off for an oil change, do you look around to see if anybody's watching you? Probably
Always.
Most people don't. Well, in any case. So there's a little bit of suspicious behavior there. And I think one of the things that Slade catches from, he's got like binoculars from the van, where he's watching from the van. And he is able to tell you when you reconnect on this, that the person driving the van is kind of a like sort of a like very pale person in like an all black sort of like very dignified suit, except that he notices they're wearing gloves, like black leather gloves, but he catches just a glint when the guy's reaching for something, that when the sleeve pulls up, that he can see just the base. This guy's hand is gold. He's got a golden hand that he's wearing a black glove on.
It's a little on the nose, but okay. Yes.
Yes. And so the that's, yeah, it seems like, oh, okay, that's a big clue.
Ding, 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 ding.
But yes, so, and like, he describes this person as like this Undertaker looking guy, with a golden hand. And the more interesting, like the other more significant part of this is that big box truck rolls into the shop, right? And you've seen like inside the shop at this point, just from like when they roll up the garage truck or something, the garage doors and everything like that. And there's space for like 3 different cars to be worked on at once in there. The box truck rolls in, and then in the time that you're watching, it just doesn't come back out again. And the next time another car is coming and they open the garage doors, you do not see the box truck in there. And you were watching the whole time. So clearly from inside that garage, there's not only an entrance, but an entrance that's capable of taking a box truck and making it go somewhere else without it being obvious from the outside. So I think what you've got here is, like, I think you're probably taking pictures too, because the whole point is that you need to be able to like prove it.
Yeah.
Right. So I think what you've got here is probably technically enough to satisfy the requirements of the job. But what you don't know yet still is exactly like, what's the specific entrance? Is it guarded in any way? Is, any other details like that? So you could go for more if you want. Or I think you feel like you've got enough to satisfy the specific initial request of the job.
It does kind of feel like I want to take a closer look at the mechanism.
Yeah? Yeah? All right, tell
More
me.
specifically, I want Crash to take a closer look at the mechanism, but I want to be there when it happens.
Okay. Well, you're
All
pretty
right.
sure you've got the right building now.
The other thing is to see if there's a central power supply that it might be disrupted
Hmm.
or overloaded or whatever.
Well, and I'll just, do as you like. The job was just to find the location and tell them about it.
All right. So what are we gonna get for doing this extra work, do you think? They're gonna give us more money?
I mean, we're looking to ingratiate ourselves and get known for taking these kind of jobs in that area. If we do an exceptional job better than the Dirt Barons would have done, then that looks good on our reputation.
That's true. Gotta say, I'm not too happy about working for these particular people. But, life of crime, man.
I mean, the way I see it, we're not doing anything on either side. What they do to each other is a whole other problem.
Yeah, I know. But once you get on someone's radar, especially guys like this, uh, they can get very possessive of your time. And I like us operating independently.
If they pay for the time, we'll do the crime.
Yeah.
That's how the saying goes.
Yeah. That's exactly how it goes.
Yeah.
Anyway, aren't you at least a little bit curious about what they're cooking up down there? I mean, why use gold halls? That feels ostentatious, right? I mean,
Well,
I like
so
it. It looks
you got
great,
some
but
guy who's got a golden hand,
yeah.
and yet he walks around with a glove on it. So he doesn't want everyone to see it. But he names his organization the Golden Hand.
I don't know if
Like
it's
right on the nose, man.
I'm kind of thinking that's a hull that's hiding itself pretty well. A little bit of makeup, heavy black turtleneck. You could hide.
I think it's probably a guy who's, I don't know.
If I were an all-powerful organization, I wouldn't be driving the truck.
Who said they were all powerful?
Well, they're doing jobs, and they got enough money to gold plate their halls.
Yeah,
So,
but nobody knows what they're about. Which is another thing that makes me nervous. But you want to look at it? We'll go look at it.
curious is all. And it can't hurt to know a little bit more.
All right.
So tell me, what's that look like?
Late night infiltration, I think.
Yeah, probably best.
Or we could hide in the back of a car while it's being worked on.
And
Has to be worked on overnight. Missing part needs to be sent for. There's got to be something in this van we can take off to let it roll into the garage, but not get much further. Something needs to be replaced. Like, how much of the engine do we need?
I know a trick that the kids in my neighborhood used to play.
What kind of neighborhood did you grow up in?
You can certainly be in on this too, Red. I think the plan of going in to talk to the guy, you might still stay clear of, but
yeah, this is in the cinema. A movie's playing.
Yeah,
with the shag carpet. Yep.
Yeah.
There's this very, very, very fine abrasive that will go through a fuel filter and will actually score the valves so that they lose compression. And well, no, that takes too.
I think Slade is also just saying, can we think of a plan that doesn't require us to wreck our own car?
Yeah, we're gonna steal one.
Oh, we could do that
But
too.
put sugar in the gas tank.
But is that going to require it being there overnight?
It's
To
pretty
get it
bad.
cleaned out? Well, if we get there late in the day. So you show up late in the day with sugar in the gas tank, and
Yeah, but we're not going to be able to drive it in. We're going to have it towed because it will not drive if there's sugar in the gas.
I still like stealing a car. We
Do
can
you-
put it back
do,
when we're done.
do you like pushing a car? I think that's the problem.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't matter what car it is. It's going to have to be towed.
Well, we can push it. I mean,
What, you're stealing it from like a block away?
well, we drive it in the, until it's a block away, and then we put the sugar in the gas tank and until it gums up the engine, and then we push it.
I mean,
Okay.
is this the kind of neighborhood someone wouldn't want to park overnight in?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. I mean, I think there are cars, but it's certainly not a place you'd want there to be like a fancy car. Right? It's the sort of place where it's like you'll see cars here and there, but like nobody leaves anything valuable on the car seat, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nobody
you're not
has
going to
nice
be tipping
radios.
down the visor.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't want to steal a car in this area anyway, because the person who owns the car is probably here too, and they'd be a little more noticing it. But stealing a car from another neighborhood that was just driving on its way by and then bottom fell out. Now look, there's a garage that can save our lives. Let's drive in there.
I have an idea. What if, I don't know if he'll go for it. He hates what I do. He thinks it's terrible. But if we could take Goodrich's car back in there and say that he flubbed up his work, like there's something wrong with what he did to fix it.
Goodrich's
Wait.
car is our fallback if something happens to our van. I don't know that we want to risk
Wait, are you
that.
saying
I'm not saying we would ruin it. I'm saying we take it back in and say that ever since he did this work on it, it's been backfiring.
I think Slade is like, don't you still owe him the money for that work though?
But if it's faulty work, why would I pay him?
So this is the guy you had work on Goodrich's car,
Yeah,
but you still owe money.
I owe him a stack.
All right.
He was kind of upset because his mom was really mean to him.
What does his mom have to do with it?
I channeled her so that he could talk to her. She's dead.
Well, that would be a problem.
We have two stacks for the group.
Yeah.
I mean, we could offer him one to like fix the car again, and that would give us time to look around.
Well, we owe one to Morris if we want to keep him on the payroll.
Yeah, we can't. I don't want to spend a stack. It was just an idea.
I think, by
Like,
the way,
if you
since
go
we
into a place
established the stakeout was a few days, I think you have to decide now if you had already paid Morris or not.
That was the intention.
Yeah.
Okay, so just go ahead and mark that off then.
Okay.
All right.
You got it?
Yeah, I'll get it.
Okay.
I'm just saying, if you go in there and you say you did faulty work, and he's like, "You still owe me money," I'd be like, "Why would I pay you?"
Yeah, but what does that get us?
You go in the trunk. I leave it overnight. Like, isn't that what you were planning on doing anyway? Having somebody go in overnight?
I mean, that's what I was kind of thinking. The shop itself isn't going to be open at night. There might be some other people coming through, but that's what you want to see. That's what you want to figure out.
Yeah.
Like the Trojan Camry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this a hatchback page? It's because I would suck. I'm hiding in a hatchback.
No. No, I think it's a sedan.
Is it? It's not a big like. What would they call the Lincoln Town Car with the trunk that seats
Yeah,
four?
it's a smart car.
Yeah, it's just a sedan.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, it's room enough for one or two if they're comfortable, I guess, with each
Yeah.
I
other.
mean, do you both want to go in?
Well, I don't
he's
really
the
want to send.
infiltrator.
I don't want to really send Crash in on alone.
I'm not going in alone. I don't know how to do that.
I mean, he might break something. Something we didn't intend
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Well,
Crash.
I think you'll both fit in the back of the trunk.
Here's the thing. Oh, we won't fit in the back of the trunk?
I think you'll both fit.
Okay. Here's the thing. Can we break the car enough that it's going to be there overnight, but in a way that we can fix so that we can use it to get the hell out of there?
I think we want to leave without, raising suspicion. So maybe we can I don't know. I can rig the distributor.
So, one thing that I will offer here, although I'm enjoying this planning honestly, but I will just remind everyone that flashbacks are a thing. So we don't necessarily have to figure out everything up front.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
We could just say the two of you are hidden in Goodrich's trunk while Red is talking to Belsky, right? Like we could jump to that, and if there was a missing thing, we could flashback it, right? We don't have to necessarily do all of the planning.
All right, let's roll.
I think Slade will come with us because he's gonna have to drive me back. And we go like so close to closing time that it has to be I'll come back tomorrow.
Okay.
And I can jimmy the car to
make it backfire?
Well, to make it have some kind of timing problem or something where it's not running straight.
Okay.
Misalign the distributor cap or something like that, or
okay.
All right, so I think then you've timed this. You're rolling in like just as he's getting ready to be like closing the door and like closing up the shop and everything. So tell me what this looks like when you're you start riding in, and he sees you, and
the car's like jerking because I'm pulling in.
One question. Did we establish there are phones in this universe?
There are, yeah.
Okay.
And we
basically
have radio
anything
handsets.
they had like in the 60s, basically.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking that, if Slade's right there, that'd be a little suspicious. But if you call for him, that might make a little more sense.
I mean, certainly if he's there, that's gonna, yeah.
Well, no, I mean, I'm thinking I'm gonna need to leave this here overnight.
Yeah.
So I had somebody back me up.
So you got to use his phone to call Slade because it just broke, right?
That could work, yeah.
Okay. I mean, you tell me where you want Slade.
Like, why do I need to use his phone? Is there a reason?
Well, how is Slade going to know to come unless he was already there? And if he's already there,
I
why
think
is the car
her
just breaking
pitch was
down?
that he is already there. He's coming with her to bring in the car.
Because the car's been acting weird.
But I'll also say, isn't part of the plan here to pull the wool over Belsky's eyes here, right? So
Yeah.
So, all right, you guys figure this out.
I was just thinking if we were saying it just broke down, it'd be weird that you already knew you needed backup. But if you're saying it's been breaking for a while.
It's been weird since
a roll is going to determine all of this anyway.
Sure. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. That's where we're going.
Sure.
Yep.
All right. So, how do you persuade Belsky to not just turn you away?
I'm manipulating him to the point where I'm like, listen, you did the work on this car, and it was fine before you did the work, other than the work that needed done. And ever since then, it's been doing this,
Mm-hmm.
and I expect you to fix it.
How about I'm going to offer something here, which is to say, especially since you called out manipulative here, normally the move would normally be sway for this sort of a thing, but I will give you, if you specifically like try to push his buttons about like his mom and everything to get him to do it at the cost of him being mad at you but agreeing to do it.
I would totally take that.
Okay, so potential complication that he thinks you're kind of a bitch now.
That's fine.
So, but you know, we'll see how fine it is. But in any case, I think that would be an example of you having a complication related to an issue stemming from a deadlock.
Okay. Now you said sway.
Well, so I guess what I was saying is that I was going to offer that there's a consequence, which I'm kind of letting you know is going to be a consequence. This is not just like, oh no, I feel bad that the NPC doesn't like me. Right. I mean, like there's going to be something resulting from this probably.
Okay.
But in any case, it was going to basically let you do that in lieu of rolling to accept that there will be sort of this consequence.
Okay.
I think that I'll let you even try to resist the consequence, because that's you can always try to resist the consequence. But so I was going to say, like, he doesn't like you in such a way that like this is not just a job. He's feeling pushed around. He's not happy about it. Who knows what he might do? That sort of is the consequence.
He might break the car more,
or something.
Or come after me.
Mm-hmm. Or if something were to go wrong, would be motivated to have it go more wrong for you.
Mm-hmm.
But you can resist that consequence if you like.
Okay, I will.
Okay, go ahead and roll. This would certainly be the third one.
Resolve.
Yes.
The way I have this set up is so wacky.
Look at that. Oh my god. Okay, when you roll a critical on resistance, clear 1 stress.
Wow.
Oh,
little
nice.
Miss Sociopath here.
It's my favorite role.
Fantastic. Okay, yeah. So I think that you are manipulating him successfully enough that even though he doesn't like he wasn't going to do it, but you basically so what is it that you do to basically talk him into doing this work in such a way that he's like not even mad about it?
I just tell him that I think his mother would really want him to make this right. I mean, she was so disappointed in him that this could be a good step towards showing her that he does good work. And it doesn't matter who he works for, as long as he's doing a good job.
Yeah, and I think he gets a little misty eyed and he says, yeah, like I've been feeling lately, like I don't always like not all of my work here gives me a lot of satisfaction. I sometimes feel like I'm working with sketchy people, and so like it. Yeah, it does, just like the idea that I'm helping good people with their cars, and they need that, and people need that. And that's what I do, and it would make my mom proud.
It would. I really would.
And you leave satisfied that you have really touched the heart of a guy that you are actively betraying. Great.
Feel good about myself.
Okay, so I think that the shop gets closed up with Goodrich's car inside. I think we can sort of imagine the brief scene of Pyretta going to ask Goodrich to borrow his car again. But in any case, though, I think that we've got secretly Silhouette and Crash hidden in the trunk, and you hear like the the garage door close. You hear like a bit moving around. You can see just kind of like through the cracks that the lights have been turned off. It's quiet for a while. Now what?
Now
All right.
Lancelot and Galahad and I get out of the rabbit.
Only this time you've actually hidden inside.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a
Okay.
BW rabbit.
Yeah. So I mean, you do that. It's you're now in the garage. It's dark. I'm sure
All right.
there's something here, but you don't know what or where.
Well, I'm gonna start looking around now. Franny is still my spark mind is still working on the papers, so I don't have her with me, right? The
No, I
Blue
thought you
Raker.
carry her around with you like a watch.
Yeah.
You're just not actively at the moment doing downtime research on it, right? So
Oh, okay.
she's with you, but she's also not actively right this minute working on that.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start looking around for things like where you could hide a box truck. I'm looking for, like panels that descend that you would be able to put a box truck on, because like we know that some big box truck came in here and then it was gone. It didn't go up, or there's so I'm guessing it went down.
Okay, yeah. So
And
what's the move here?
The move is to look at the like power and air and hydraulics and all of the mechanics stuff and see if I can figure out where.
So So, what's the move? Like, what's your trait? So you're doing
tinker.
great with describing what you're doing.
Yeah, tinker.
Perfect. Okay, but yeah, that's what I needed. Okay, so I think this is it might seem controlled, but you are certainly in a place you're not supposed to be. So I think that's inherently risky. But yeah, so risky, and I think it's dark. But tell me, I guess, are you using like flashlights?
Yeah, I would use a flashlight.
Okay. Yeah, so it is a risky standard.
Okay. I got a 6.
Look at that. It's a 6. Yeah, I think poking around, you see that there are lots of places where there are pneumatic lifts that are designed to like lift the cars up to work underneath them. And one of the 3 bays has like there's more buttons and controls on that one. Like the lift seems the same, but the control panel for it has different like controls on it. And the labels just call them auxiliary. And I think just sort of like looking at the controls and sort of peering around, you do it like if you weren't looking for something like this, you probably wouldn't spot it. But given that you are looking for something exactly like this, you do find sort of a big seam around that whole thing where sort of the normal lift could go up, but it also looks like the whole floor panel around it
Goes down.
maybe doesn't directly connect to the rest of the floor, because maybe could go down. So you think you've found where that is. Do you activate it?
So, is this enough for you, or do you have to see what's downstairs? Because
I mean,
I would be very happy to leave, or just get back in the cart. And
it's a good start. It's a good start. Now, there's probably another entrance here somewhere for just people, because you don't want to have to run this up and down all the time if you're just doing routines. I'm also wondering how much Bilski knows about this. I mean, he must know, because when the door is closed and they activate it, he's got to know it's going somewhere. So I'm going to check his office out.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if there's any lock cabinets, and I have my burglar kit with me to
Great.
make sure that I can pick any locks I need to.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's
So.
see. I'm gonna call this survey, I think, to take in his old office.
Okay. I think, yeah, survey is going to be more like what looks out of place, as opposed to like a study would be more like, I'm going to check his financial records and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. Okay. Study will
That's
work.
what I'm thinking. Like, you know, like
Yeah.
if you want survey, that's kind of more like a quick glance at everything.
More general. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of the, you know, difference between, you know, perception and investigate, for example, in D&D.
Yeah. I think I'll stick with survey, actually,
Okay.
just to get the general gist of things. And see what I can do. So,
Okay.
what sort of devil's bargain would be offered for this?
Okay. The devil's bargain. The devil's bargain is a silent alarm.
Well, the thing is, the devil's bargain always happens, right? Regardless of success or
regardless
failure.
of the success or failure of the roll, you something will be tripped without you realizing it, and will send a signal to someone.
I think I can't risk that because I'm just about to freeze up. So I'm going to resist the devil's bargain.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
The player resists it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's just going to be a straight up roll at that point. What's my position and
So it is still risky.
Okay.
You know, because you're in a place you shouldn't be, but standard. Well, okay. Actually, I take it back. I'm going to say limited because it makes sense that if he's got something that's a real secret, it's not going to be like just sitting out on his desk.
Gotcha.
You might find something, but you're probably not going to find like real dramatic goods with just kind of a glancing around.
I mean, I'll say if I get a critical, which is unlikely.
Oh, sure, yeah. I mean, there's always possible that you really
I'll be looking for those building plans or something, but let's see how bad it gets.
Could I go back in time before they got in the trunk and give him like some kind of talisman of protection that is probably hokey jokey to him?
A grounding talisman against electrocution?
Do you have such a thing?
No, I don't think so.
Well, then
then you go back another time to where you made
go back another time and get one.
I mean, we can do a flashback where you did that. We would do a roll though to see like
if it works.
How did you make it? How did it work? Yeah.
I just basically want to be able to give him help even though I'm not there.
Sure. So. Well, you know, synchronized watches would have done that, but
damn it.
But yeah, so I would say we could, if you want to do that flashback, we would do a roll that would be basically kind of like you will have given him this talisman, but does it work or not?
Okay. So could I do an attune roll for that?
Sure.
Since it's like magic-y, weirdy.
And the intent is that it sort of just protects him from detection in any sort of specific way.
Yeah.
I think, that works. The more limitations we put on it, the more powerful it can be in other ways, right?
Yeah. So is that risky?
This is an acquire asset roll. That's a little bit like the jury rig.
How do I do that?
just a second. Oh, for Pete's sake. I thought I was getting to an easier thing here.
Page 170.
Oh, okay, thank you. So, for acquire an asset, yeah, you always get something. Incidentally, this might that would be the downtime acquire asset, which is what I said, but I think actually what we want is more like, you know what, let's just do that. Okay, so in any case, this is one special item. You are rolling to acquire the asset. You roll the cruise tier with bonus dice equal to your personal lifestyle quality with full rows of bank, which you don't really have any yet, I don't think. And the result indicates the quality of the asset you get. And so basically, the cruise current tier is 0, so you would be doing a 0D roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a place on the sheet?
No, this is a fortune roll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. You got that?
No. Oh, there it is.
Okay.
I couldn't find the button.
All right. Yeah.
Number of dice. 0.
Yeah. Okay, great. So.
Oh.
So
I just wanted to
have
give
the
him an
little
extra
scene
dice.
where you've made this thing, and you're convincing Silhouette to wear it.
So what does it do exactly again?
It'll protect you from like everything.
Right. And
It
why
will.
didn't you give us one of these before?
Because I just thought about, like, we haven't really infiltrated anything this dangerous or scary before.
And
Like,
you've
this
tried
is really scary.
You tried this thing before?
No, I just made it.
Oh. All right.
I think it'll work. You'll be fine.
I'll be your guinea pig, but you owe me if this doesn't work.
Okay.
Probably a funeral or something, but make it a nice funeral. Say
If you
something
die,
nice about it.
I'll take care of the funeral arrangements.
There you go. That's worth a couple of stacks.
In my head, I'm thinking of the doll that Lilo made herself in Lilo and Stitch.
So I think the way that I'm going to have this play out here is that you're pretty sure it's going to work. Silhouette, it felt warm when she put it around your neck.
Okay.
It had been feeling warm, but in the last few minutes while you've been in the office here, it started getting like hot, like it's starting to like burn a little bit.
Is it supposed to do that? Pull it out and put it on the outside of my turtleneck.
Like, and as soon as like you've got it on the outside, you can see like it's vibrating and glowing, and it seems to be accelerating in both of those qualities.
Hey, what do you know? It worked. I don't know what it's doing, but it worked.
I think maybe we should hide.
Well, so I think you got a 5 with your
survey.
Yeah. So what I'm going to suggest here is that the minor consequence normally on a risky with a 5, you could either succeed with a minor consequence, right, or get less effect, but you were already at limited effect. So I would say basically what I'm going to rule here is that the amulet is going to explode. And you can either toss it and get away without being caught in the explosion, or you can absorb the explosion yourself to avoid leaving evidence of you being here. But if you do that, like if you, I think either way, no, I guess if you absorb the hit yourself, there's no damage to the office and you can still get your information. But if you let it blow up in the office in a way that doesn't hurt you, you will not get your information.
Well, I think there's a series of decision gates that happen in Sill's head. First of all, geez, Red made this thing and it actually works. Wait, what is it supposed to do again? This doesn't look like what it's supposed to do. I can't alert the rest of the room. She better have a damn good speech. And I'll try to hold it in.
Okay. All right. Great.
He did get the extra dice though, right? For his survey roll?
Well, it was going to mitigate a consequence.
The roll that you got was a 1, so that meant that the asset that you gave him was quality -1.
Oh, okay.
So actively harmful.
Whoops.
Yeah. Well, you know, you did your best. But yeah, so I think that this is starting at a level 2 harm for you, Silhouette.
Okay.
You can resist that if you want.
No, I can't.
Okay. Well, let's call it a level 2 harm blown up a little.
All right. So I'm imagining there's this massive hole in his turtleneck now, where this thing burned up. And
I think you got all your hair sticking up, smoking a little bit.
It's all right. It's all right.
The non-siblings are going to be so excited about it.
I think, Crash, you were just off, looking at the elevator and trying to decide, you know what, like maybe we don't open it. We don't want to attract too much attention. And then just kind of over your shoulder, you hear, whoomp.
I'm gonna head over, move cautiously over in that direction to find out what's left of Silhouette.
It's kind of turn, blackened face, hairs. Must have been a booby trap. But hey, I got it. It's only slightly singed.
I think that the information that you get is it's not much, and it would, if not for the stakeout that you did, it would be kind of nothing, because all it is just on a little sketch pad. There's a time and a date, and then a second later time and date, right? And there's no labels to it or anything to tell you like what are these for, except that what there is the fact that first time and date happens to be when the box truck came in.
And the other one's in the future? The other date? Okay.
It's tomorrow. Like tomorrow evening after sundown. Or, like after blue time.
Right.
All right.
So.
All right, I think that's enough.
All right.
Great.
That should that should be good enough. We know where an entrance is. We know when they're going to be moving a very heavy box truck in. Let's put everything back. Are we just going to... How do we get out of here? We hide in the vehicle until the next day? I mean, what happens if they open the trunk?
Hide back in the trunk all night?
I mean, that was...
I mean, at some point, somebody's going to have to pee.
Really?
I mean, you guys tell me.
I don't think this part's going to be as hard to get out of as the rest, so there should be a regular door around here somewhere.
Just set off the alarm and run like hell?
No, I don't want to alert anything. Let's just crawl out a window.
Well, let me check it to see if there's an alarm on the door. Maybe I can delay it from going off
Yeah.
or just neutralize it
There
completely?
absolutely is an alarm, but you certainly could make a roll to try to
All
thwart
right.
it. It doesn't seem especially sophisticated, but it's, like
Okay.
basic.
So risky.
Yeah,
Or,
risky standard, where standard basically means you can open the door without setting off the alarm and then close it again.
all right.
All right, so the 5 means you get the success you needed. You're able to do it, but there's a minor consequence of some kind that you could potentially. Um, I think that the minor consequence here, which again you could potentially resist, is
Mm-hmm.
that although the alarm will not go off, if someone checks the log, it has a little log that says what times the door opens and closes. And it will still be on the log. It just will show as an authorized opening and closing. If you want
I'm
to
going to try
resist.
and resist it.
Okay, great. So I think that's an insight resistance.
Okay. Do I get bonus dice for being?
I mean, if you want to
clever?
push yourself, or like, no, I mean,
Nah, I've only got one stress left after this. 5.
Okay, yeah. So it only costs you 1 stress. You see that you were about to. It's like, oh, glad you caught that at the last second. So you are able to manipulate it in such a way that, in addition to not triggering the alarm, it also, like for a period of 30 seconds, is not logging either. So it's you can just open like either like the the human-sized door or one of the garage doors. Either way, I guess just the two of you
Human
getting out
size, yeah.
attracts less attention to do the human-sized door. So that's what you do.
Yep.
You escape. You're able to get out, and in fact, unless you feel like you would be not wanting to do so, we can go ahead and sort of skip ahead to you turning in this information.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So I think that the contact that you that you make in order to hand off this this information that you found. Let me give you an NPC here. Yeah, there's a Severosi man named Dorji Khan, who seems like he's pretty suspicious, especially when you come into the meeting rather than the Dirt Barons. And so I think that there is initially there's like not an immediate hostility, but puts a gun on the table and says, "Tell me why you're here."
Well, we decided to do this job for you instead of letting the Dirt Barons do it. Because we want to work for you. In, freelance capacity. We wanted to prove to you that we can get the job done.
And did you get the job done?
Yeah, we did.
Let's see it.
So we produce the proof. We show them the pictures, show them a picture of the sketch pad with the time and date, point out that that's when, like tomorrow night, that's when the second truck is going to be there. This is, a sketch of the repair shop. This is how the mechanism appears to work to lower something as big as a box truck.
You run through
we
all
go
of that.
through everything.
So I think that he is persuaded, and he just says, "Wow, that is bold. Just so happens that I like that. So here's my offer. We were doing cash only with the Dirt Barons here. But I think I'm going to potentially offer you something here, which is to say that is going to be more valuable to you than just stacks in the long run. And that's Um, you know, we had, certain part of the city marked off as dirt barons can do what they want there. It's yours now. Plus, 2 stacks is a tip. You know what? 3. 3, because I like your guts for actually finding the elevator controls and whatever this other date is.
All right. I like that. I mean,
And
yeah.
so that was the job, right? You the payout for this one was 1 stack plus turf, and then there was a called shot, which I don't remember what we had actually said that was going to be. I could look it up, and I'll look it back up and re-adjudicate this payout if it feels like it's appropriate. And then you got 2 extra because you risked more to get extra information. So 3 stacks plus turf. So you've successfully gained the turf crew claim, which lets you put a little mark on your crew sheet so that when you achieve rep, you don't have to achieve as much rep in order to get to advance your tier. So you can go ahead and mark that you've got the turf and that you've got those stacks. And then we can do the end of session payout stuff. Although actually, let's just do let's just do end of session stuff since we're close to our normal end time now. Let's just do that. So, starting off with rep. Where's this infection game? So, okay. You getting rep. So when you complete a score, which you just did, you gain 2 rep. Mm-hmm. If the target of the score was higher tier than your crew, you get +1 rep per tier higher. And so in this case, the golden hand is tier 3. So that's actually plus, that's 5 rep.
Wow. Nice.
Which I believe fills you up, especially since now that you've got turf, you would have only needed 3 to fill you up.
So we had 4 empty.
Right. So when you have turf now, you fill in 1 from the right side.
Okay.
Oh, whoops.
So we have 2 over.
But it doesn't work that way because what it is it's filled now, which means that you can now, if you have enough money, you can buy your way to tier 1. And tier 1, to do that is it costs stacks equal to the tier, your new tier times 8.
Oh, crap. Okay.
Yeah, okay. So you're going to need 8 stacks to become tier 1, but you are now eligible to do that when you have the money.
Got it. All right. So that just fills in the rep. We check the checkbox next to turf.
Mm-hmm.
So each of us would get a stack, or we would put 3 stacks in the inSPECTRE.
Yeah, however you want to do that.
I kind of need a stack so I can, pay Bell's fee.
All right.
When I go pick up my car.
Your car.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That works.
All right. So we can also do your crew XP, which we had just done, and you had just gotten an advancement, so it's cleared right now. But a successful surveillance or cleanup, successful surveillance operation, absolutely did that. Mm-hmm. Challenges above your current station, you did that. You bolster your crew's reputation. You've impressed the Scorpion Syndicate that you're looking to broaden your horizons here.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's 3 that I see pretty easily there. But the question of express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew. Do you feel like you did that?
The essential nature of our crew is, not to kill anybody, but to grab as much as we can get
Hmm?
and just be exceptional.
Great.
So I think we did that.
Yeah.
So that'll be 4 total
Yep.
that we
Yep.
would
Yeah.
add.
Yep. Great. Well, you should only be at 4 because you were
Yeah.
blank. So
I-
someone
I
just
was
made it
filling them in.
more. Yeah.
Oh,
I was
Yeah.
filling
I
them in.
think it's because
Oh.
everybody's on there.
Yeah.
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 Oh,
Everyone's doing
okay.
it. So yes, you were at 0, so you should have 4 now.
Got it. Okay.
All right. So, but then now for your individual, individual XP. So certainly, I think a couple of you did 0 die rolls or desperate.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you do that. Unless you marked it already, make sure you mark it now. Same for when you hit a key. Deadlocking doesn't count as hitting a key, but it does. As we discussed it, the complication that I offered, that even though you resisted it, still counts as struggling with issues stemming from a deadlock.
Okay.
So Falwell, did you address a challenge with technical skill or cleverness?
I did.
Mm-hmm.
Now my XP is filled up.
For which track?
For the playbook
Okay.
advancement.
Well, that means you get to choose a new. You either Yeah. So when you advance, you can either choose a new ability from your playbook, or you So for that you can also add XP to the attribute tracks, right?
So I
But if
I can raise Tinker to 4, right?
Well, no. So
No.
so let me look at your sheet here just to see where you're at. So
Okay.
the ones that so you filled the playbook advancement, which means
Right.
that you can clear that now and take a new special ability from your playbook.
Oh, okay. Got it.
But if you had extra or any other time that you want to spend XP, you can spend it up where you see Insight, Prowess, Resolve. You
Yeah.
have to fill one of those tracks to add a new dot.
Okay.
So if you
okay.
fill the Resolve track, you can add a new dot to either Attune, Command, Consort, or Sway.
Right. Okay. But if I want to put it in Insight, I think I'm carrying over 2.
Okay, yeah. So then you would put 2 in the Insight track.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I get to pick a special ability.
Correct. Do you know which one you
right.
want? You can decide
Not
later
yet.
and tell us next time if you want.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
All right. So how about you, Vesper? Did you?
I had a desperate action. I
Mhm.
did hit a key, and I addressed a challenge with stealth or deception. So
I think
I
so.
got those.
All right.
And I have filled my resolve, so I'm going to add a new skill.
Great.
Just trying to decide which one.
Mm-hmm. And this is a bonus because you'll now have at least 1 in all 3 of those things. So when you do your Indulge Vice, you'll be able to roll 1d6 instead of 0d6.
That was kind of the hope.
Yeah. All right. So you can decide later if you want in the same way, just because we're close to our we're kind of at our normal end time. How about you, Pyretta?
I got 1 for struggling with my deadlock, and I addressed a challenge with paranormal power.
Yeah.
And I also, I think that was it.
Okay. All right. Did you fill any tracks?
No.
All right. Great. So the last thing that I'll have us do now that we've completed those is a reminder that when you finish a job, you need to have your the wind down. Like, what is it that you do? When you have your unwind scene.
I want to hear the speech. The speech you would have given if I hadn't have survived.
I will give the speech. And it is the most brilliant, uplifting thing that you have ever heard.
Where
You
is this
wish that
happening?
people in front of the
I think on the stage of the theater, right?
All right,
yeah. Yeah. Like it's like you wish people would have talked like this about you while you were alive. That's how good it is.
All right, that'll do.
I
I might
think
suggest some improvements, though.
yeah, when you get back to base and the Alcots see the hole in your sweater, Vesper, they both just immediately faint. Their eyes just roll back up in their heads and they just collapse.
I know, it was my favorite shirt too.
I'll buy you a new one.
Yeah,
I should have
okay,
marked my
great.
stats.
Love that. Okay, so I think that is where we we will do one of those like crane shots out through one of the like the upper level windows, panning back over across the now nighttime city of Duskfall, as the talented scoundrels of inSPECTRE have completed yet another job. What will be the aftermath? What will they do next? We'll have to find out when we next return for more Blades 68 on so many levels.
So many levels.
So much stress, really.
A lot of stress.
Oh boy, so much stress.